I'm so happy to be here with you today. It's Miss Simpson, and I'm excited to make some art with you. We are going to work on still lifes today. Have you ever made a still life before? Well, maybe you have, and you probably will in the future, if you haven't before today too. This is going to be something that you'll use your observational drawing skills for. So I'm glad we practiced that recently. And we're going to use some color so we can combine a lot of the different things that we've been talking about together into one really cool project. It's going to be really fun. So let's talk a little bit about still life before we get working on the art part. A still life is pretty much just a piece of art about objects that are still. So they could have been alive, or they may reference life, which means like it may be plants that are in various stages of their lives, or food, which kind of talks about life because we have to eat food, right? That's important. And still lifes have been made for hundreds of years. This is an example. This is like 400 years old. And that's definitely not the oldest still life, for sure. People have been making these for a whole long time. And this one is just from a couple years ago. This still life is Cubist, which means that it uses geometric shapes like we've been talking about recently before. This is a cool one. It's from about 100 years ago. It's from 1917. The artist's name is Diego Rivera. He's a Mexican artist who was really famous for doing gigantic murals, which are paintings on walls. But this is a cool example of a still life that isn't totally realistic. So when you look at that and you think about the inspiration that he had and think about the different colors that he uses, they may not be exactly the colors that he sees. So that's a good thing to think about when we're working on this type of artwork. Like, don't worry too much about making it look exactly the way that you see it. You're going to use your observational skills and do your very best to get all the shapes and, colors and patterns in there, but you can also be creative with it. That's really fun. Awesome. Let's talk a little bit about line too before we get going, because if you look at these different still lifes, we can see different types of lines that make up the different shapes and different things that are in the still life. So check this out. Do you see any lines that cross each other? Do you see any zigzag lines, wavy lines, dotted lines, lines that are next to each other that are parallel, vertical or horizontal lines? What kinds of lines do you notice? A line is just a point, in this case, a point of like an art material moving across a piece of paper. So we can think about using lines to help express ourselves in art, in whatever type of art we're making. So I want you to think about that when we're working on this project too. I'm really excited to work on this with you, so let's get to work. Daisy's here to help us today. She can be our assistant. Thank you for your help, Daisy. Thank you, friend. Here's a still life that has a lot of different objects in it. And I'm gonna ask you to pick maybe 5 of them. Like at least 5. Start with 1 though. And work on drawing the outline of the object. So just getting to find like all the different things that are in the object that you're drawing. And we're gonna draw with pencil for just a little while, and then we're gonna color it in with colored pencil or crayon. So I'm gonna put a lot of pictures of this still life at the end of the video. Don't worry about it. So you can pause there at the end if you'd like to. I'll put some details so you can draw like a focused in view of that. But also, I'm just gonna ask you to be kind and patient with yourself. So don't worry too much about it being exact. Think about the Diego Rivera example, where it's a little bit abstracted, but really describes the objects that he was drawing very well. Awesome. Okay, let's get drawn. So what I'm gonna do is get my white paper out, and I am gonna just draw what I see, and probably we're gonna draw this part for, not very long. So I just want you to focus on a few things. Find a few objects that you like. And I'll let you know when it's time to wrap up, okay? Your drawing looks amazing. You did such a good job so far. Okay, so put your last lines on your pencil drawing, okay? We're gonna probably finish this in like half a minute and then we'll start coloring, okay? So put your last lines on there and then we're gonna start coloring. I'm gonna choose colors that I see. Don't forget too that you can pause this video whenever you need to. I'm gonna get all my eraser crumbs off of there. And I am going to just use the colors that I see and color in my still life however I want to. Keep up the good work, you guys. You're doing such a good job. So finish up your drawing. Remember, you can layer these colors, like the colored pencil and crayon are really good for that. If you press lightly, you can mix the colors together on the paper, which is really fun. So I want you to keep on working on this, and we've got a few minutes, but I think maybe draw for like 3 more minutes, and then you'll probably be done. Okay, you guys, wrap up your drawings. Keep up the great work. Just draw for 1 more minute. So I want you to find your last lines, figure out if you want to outline something or put any detail in it anywhere. And remember, you should pause the video if you need to catch up. You've got some time. You're doing such a great job. Okay. 1 more minute. Thank you so much for working so hard on your still life. It looks amazing. I'm really excited for you to do this in the future too, because this is just something you can do with whatever objects you have around. That's what I like to do, like just for fun. I'll find different things around my house and draw them and arrange them in different ways and see how the shapes of the different objects interact with each other in the art. So fun. So like you could draw your shoe or your skateboard or like whatever you want to, really. Seashells or leaves. It's like the observational drawing, but you can use, when you're making a still life, you can use all different kinds of things too, so you can stack them up and arrange them in fun ways. I'm so glad that you worked so hard on your project. It looks so cool. And I'm really excited to work with you soon. Again, have a great rest of your day, you guys.